Good afternoon, and on behalf of the Idaho Falls Rotary Club, welcome to the Idaho Falls Luncheon. I'm very excited for our program today because one of the objectives of Rotary is to encourage and foster high ethical standards in business and profession, and to recognize the worthiness of useful occupations as an opportunity to serve our community. And today's program has done just that. So to start our program today, I'd like to introduce Catherine Smith, this month's program director.
Thank you, and hello. We are continuing our monthly theme of Hey Idaho Falls, You're Awesome. So it's a treat today to have Ball Ventures here with us. Eric Isom will be presenting with us, and then Liza Leonard will also join. Eric Isom is the Chief Development Officer from Ball Ventures. He joined Ball Ventures in 2006. He is responsible for overseeing development, leasing, construction, marketing, property management, and acquisitions. In addition to other projects, Eric has been involved in the oversight of Snake River Landing, a 450-acre mixed-use development project located on the banks of the Snake River in Idaho Falls, Idaho. Prior to joining Ball Ventures, Eric worked for 11 years with the New Plan Excel Realty Trust, where he held the positions of Acquisitions Officer, Development Director, and Senior Development Manager. Eric has a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration and Finance from Weber State University. Eric has served on a variety of community boards over the years, most recently on the Board of Directors for the Idaho Innovation Center. Eric and his wife, Kathy, have 2 sons and a daughter. Today, as I mentioned, Eric will be joined by Liza Leonard, who is the marketing manager for Ball Ventures. Welcome, Eric.
Well, thank you, Catherine. Thanks, Michelle. Appreciate having the invitation to be here today and to be here with Liza, our marketing manager. And as I was thinking about this, I thought how strange it is that the Rotary's having to do meetings this way. 6, 7, 8 months ago, would we have ever imagined that this is how these meetings would be held? And the amount of change that we've all been through in the past 6 or 7 months, I think, has just been staggering. To think about how we've gone from standard working in an office to a lot of us working from home and doing different things. But, what a testament to our ability to adapt when you think about the fact that even in non-ideal circumstances, we're able to still have these kind of meetings and still connect and still learn from each other. And I'm really grateful for that. I'm going to focus my remarks today in basically 3 areas. First, I'm going to start off with an overview of Ball Ventures and who we are and what we do, a great local company. I'm going to talk a little bit about a couple of our great local projects, that being Sand Creek Commons in Ammon and Snake River Landing in Idaho Falls. And then at the end, I want to touch on a couple of challenges that we're kind of facing in our industry right now, and that might spur some questions from some of you, and happy to get into that a little bit more if you have questions. First of all, let's see, I guess I better get the clicker here. I want to talk a little bit about Ball Ventures. Ball Ventures was founded in 2002 by Alan Ball. Our CEO is Courtney Lydiard. Courtney joined with Alan, and together they have built Ball Ventures into the great company that it is today. If any of you have ever met either of these two individuals, you understand what great men they are and how much they've done for our community over the years. Ball Ventures currently has 44 full-time employees in our corporate office, hardworking, dedicated employees that help carry out our mission. But in addition to that, we employ probably about 1,800 people across the country in our different operating companies and properties that we own. Our commercial real estate portfolio, we own and manage over 100 properties that consist of about 3 million square feet, and they're located in 17 states. A little bit about what we do. Ball Ventures is primarily responsible for commercial real estate projects, although you can see that we're involved in a lot of other things. Those include primarily retail anchored shopping centers, single and multi-tenant office buildings, and then we have strategic partners with others where we're involved in healthcare, midstream oil, and automotive and the medical fields. Our primary core focus over the years, while recently we have kind of diversified into some other things, our core focus has been commercial real estate. If you look at the slide, you can see some pictures of some of our projects. Some of our regional projects that you are all probably familiar with include Sand Creek Commons that we're going to talk about today, Snake River Landing, as well as Rail Crossing Shopping Center, which is the Costco anchored center in Pocatello. We have a piece of property in Pocatello called Alameda Plaza. It's a vacant piece of property at the corner of Yellowstone and Alameda, where the old Albertsons used to sit next to the new Winco. That's a property that we have a development plan in place on. We're working on putting some deals together there. The Northgate project in Pocatello on the north end, we have a 404-unit apartment complex that we're doing in a joint venture with Karchner Commercial. And then as far as hotels in the area, we own the Hilton Garden Inn in Idaho Falls, as well as the True Hotel by Hilton, and then the Home 2 Suites located in Snake River Landing. As our community has grown, this is a map that shows the Idaho Falls area. It shows the two projects we're going to talk a little bit more about today, Sand Creek Commons and Snake River Landing. It's always been our hope to be a positive agent to accommodate this growth in a responsible, unique, and disciplined way with projects that will be of benefit to our local community and the residents. I want to go through the development process a little bit. And is there any way we can make that bigger so I can see that a little bit better? If you just want to take a look at that slide, you'll see some of the things that go into the development process, from basically taking a piece of raw ground, and the picture you're looking at is the Sand Creek Commons property before it was developed. And I want you to just kind of think about each of those areas and phases that we go through, and think about the number of jobs that creates in the community, both through the development process and then once the project is complete. Everything from consultants, land planners, attorneys, engineers, construction folks. A project like this brings about a lot of jobs through the process of construction, and not to mention the people that are able to work in these shops after they're built. And the reason I bring this up is because creating jobs has always been a goal of Mr. Ball's from the beginning. He takes great pride in creating jobs for our community, and that's something that we always work to try to do. I'm just going to show you, this slide is just some photos of Sand Creek Commons. You're all probably familiar with those businesses. And then if we go to the site plan, a little overview of the project. Sand Creek Commons is a joint venture between Ball Ventures and the Woodbury Corporation out of Utah. Woodbury is a third-generation developer that has been a great partner. They've developed a lot of different projects throughout the western United States. The project consists of about 300,000 square feet of total retail space when it's done, when it's complete. We have built about 205,000 square feet to date, the part that you see in tan, the building's in tan. We have about 95,000 square feet left to go, and that is the buildings that you see in the red color. Some of the recent additions to Sand Creek Commons include Puerto Vallarta Restaurant, which recently moved there in Retail A, which is the strip building next to Brolam's. In addition to Puerto Vallarta, Starbucks has taken the Popeyes building and just recently opened. In the building that is next to between Wendy's and Zion's, it's a building that's currently under construction. We've announced Firehouse Subs is coming to that building, as well as America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses, and we have one more space there. And I'm really excited today because a lot of times when we speak at these events, and I have people that come up to us all the time and they say, what's coming next? Tell us what's going on. And it's hard for us to do because we really can't say until a deal is finished. We don't like to say things until we know they're going to happen. And rarely the timing is such that when we're speaking like this, we can announce something. But in this case, we have something to announce that I think is really exciting. The final space in that building that's under construction will be taken by a restaurant called Mo Betta's Hawaiian-style food. Hopefully some of you have seen there or eaten there in Utah. They have 17 locations in Utah, one location in Meridian. And I first went to Mo Betta's 3 or 4 years ago in Logan. It's a big hit down there with the college kids. And as soon as I ate there, I thought, wow, this is something we've really got to try to get in Idaho Falls. It's a niche. It's an area that I don't believe has been filled in the past here. And we think that it's going to be a great addition to the project and to the community. As we look at this site plan, here's the part where I have to say we're doing things, but I can't tell you what, which I hate to do. But as we look at the site plan, the mid-box space next to Hobby Lobby, we are working on a deal there that will take a part of that space that hopefully we can announce in the coming weeks. We're working on leasing some remaining space in Retail A next to Brolam's. Pad A out in front of Brolam's, we are also pretty close to getting a deal finished there that we hope to announce in the coming weeks. And then we always have interest too of people that we're kind of talking to on an ongoing basis. All right, let's switch to Snake River Landing. Well, before that's just an aerial view of Sand Creek Commons looking from the west. Okay, if we go to Snake River Landing, Snake River Landing is a unique project for this market. It's unique in a market the size of Idaho Falls. Mr. Ball purchased most of the land where Snake River Landing is located around 2001, 2002. Mr. Ball was born and raised in the Idaho Falls area. He raised his family here, and he's always looked at Snake River Landing as an opportunity for him to give back to the community, a community that he feels has given so much to him and to his family over the years. That's why we take great pride in this project and try to make it the best that we can. As I mentioned earlier, Courtney Lydiard joined Ball Ventures as the CEO back about that time. Together, he and Alan laid out the initial vision for Snake River Landing. In the next few years after that, they spent their time planning and assembling the team that would develop this property. In 2006, the roads, main roads were started, Snake River Parkway and Pierview Drive. That's about the time that I joined the company and got involved in it. The concept behind Snake River Landing is live, work, shop, play. And again, that was a little bit unique at the time it was started. People had seen these kind of projects in other cities, but nothing like this I think had ever been done in the Idaho Falls area. And I had a lot of people that would come up to me early on and say, wow, that's like a project that I saw somewhere here or there. So we were really excited about that. Our first marketing efforts early on were basically to educate the public on what Snake River Landing was, what the concept was, how it would work, how the uses would fit together. And I think we have a video that we want to run now that shows a little bit shows what Snake River Landing looks like today. Go ahead. All right, hopefully you enjoyed that video. To give you some statistics, Snake River Landing consists of about 450 acres of land. At the time we started the project in 2006-ish, I think Snake River Landing was about 4% of the total land area of the city of Idaho Falls and about 17% of the undeveloped land within the city of Idaho Falls. So pretty big, pretty ambitious project. As far as the mixed use components and the way we kind of planned that and set that aside, we have 100 acres set aside for retail, 75 acres set aside for office, 100 acres set aside for residential development, 115 acres that will be taken up with streets and public right-of-ways, and about 60 acres of green space when it's done. A little more than that now as far as the green space goes, but some of that will have buildings on it in the future. When I first looked at the plan back in 2006, and I saw that the plan was to take 450 acres and build a mile and a half of streets down through the middle of it without having any land sales or any commitments from anybody at that point, I couldn't believe it. I thought, wow. But then I soon realized as I dug into it that the only way you can get people to buy into the vision of a project like this is to get them into it to see it. And so it was important that those roads were constructed, that we were able to get access in so that people could see the river, how it worked, how it would fit. And we also, at that time, initially built the pier and the green space along Milligan Road, the water features, the Central Valley. All of that was built early on so that we could help sell the vision to people who otherwise probably wouldn't have been able to see it. People were cautious early on. I think a lot of people wondered if we really had the staying power to pull it off. I think they wondered if we were going to be in it for 3 or 4 years and then lose interest and move on. And so I think people were a little bit cautious. So it was really important for us to be able to show that investment and show that commitment early on so that people knew that we were serious and that we were going to finish and succeed with this project. I want to take this opportunity to thank a few people that were instrumental early on. Some people in the community that took a pretty big risk on us by investing in being part of Snake River Landing. First, Gary Voigt, local developer, who came in and bought property and built a building early on down there. It was one of our first office buildings. Steve Autumn at Patandon Produce came in and bought land and located their corporate office there early on. Gary White with Bill's Bike Shop, moving his bike shop to Snake River Landing. All those people were really instrumental in forward, and it was going to be a success, and we always appreciate them. So next I'm going to go to the master plan, which is probably kind of hard to see in a matter of a couple of seconds. There's quite a bit on there, but that just kind of shows the project in total and how some of the uses are planned to fit together. It's a conceptual plan. I think the main thing to take from this is we go from Pancari Drive